Sunshadow sat in the middle of the abandoned camp, his tail curled neatly around his paws as the wind swept through the empty dens. Weeds had begun creeping through the cracks in the earth, signs of the untended-to camp. The Tom slowly rose to his paws and headed toward the warrior's den. Most of the nests had already been taken when the clan left, but a few scraps of moss remained scattered across the floor. The clan had left moons ago, searching for a new home after their territory had become too barren to support them. There was hardly any prey left, the stream had dried to a trickle, and the land could no longer sustain the cats who had lived there. But Sunshadow had stayed. He had told them he would watch over their home until they returned, even though they had told him they weren't coming back. Sunshadow blinked, then stretched. "Time for patrol," he mewed loudly, then froze, realizing that he was all alone in the den. He shook off his fur and headed out of camp. Sunshadow walked through the old territory, sniffing for scents of intruders, as if it were any normal patrol. The Tom reached the edge of the old hunting grounds and paused, looking across the dry grass. There used to be rabbits everywhere, but now only a few patches of brittle grass remained. "There has to be something," he murmurs. After a moment, he catches the faint scent of prey and follows it until he finds a small mouse hiding beneath a dead bush. He picks it up and carries it back towards camp, his tail held high with satisfaction. It isn't much, but it is enough for him to feel as though he has accomplished something useful. Sunshadow drops the mouse beside the fresh coat pile. He stares at it for a moment before glancing towards the empty dens, almost expecting another cat to come out and take it. Sunshadow blinks and looks around the empty clearing, his air slowly lowering as the silence settles around him once again. He shakes his head and turns away, refusing to dwell on it. Instead, he passes toward one of the abandoned dens and begins clearing away the leaves that have gathered around the entrance. If his clan is going to return, the camp needs to be ready. Sunshadow steps back to examine his work. The camp looks better than it did before, though the cracked earth and dying plants still make the place look more like a forgotten ruin than a clan camp. Next, the stream, he decides. Sunshadow stops at the edge and stares down at the narrow trickle of water moving between the rocks. Sunshadow walked along the bank, searching for a place where the water might be coming from. If he can find another source, perhaps he can lead the water back into the stream. The Tom's eyes widen as he crouches beside it. The pool is small, but the water is clear and cold, and for the first time in a long while, Sunshadow feels a spark of hope. Sunshadow looks proudly at the small pool he uncovered. It isn't enough to restore the entire stream, but perhaps it is a start. He picks his way back to camp, imagining how pleased the others will be when they return. Maybe the stream will recover. Maybe the prey will return too, and the territory can become what it once was. Sunshadow stops. He lifts his head as his ears prick forward. It's faint, but there's something about it that makes his heart beat faster. His eyes widen. He knew that scent. ThunderClan. Sunshadow's pace quickens when he hears voices ahead. His ears prick forward, and a smile slowly spreads across his face as he recognizes the sound of cats talking to one another. His expression falls. Several cats are gathered together in a clearing, and Sunshadow immediately recognizes them. ThunderClan moves between the trees, speaking to one another as if nothing has changed. Their pelts look healthier than he remembered, and their eyes are bright. A few younger cats race around the clearing, playfully tickling one another, while older warriors watch them, amused. Sunshadow stares at them in silence. He expects to feel relief, happiness, maybe even excitement at finally seeing his clan again, but he feels something else. He looks down at his own paws, suddenly remembering the single mousing in his camp. Then he looks back towards the thriving clan, watching as they settle into their new home. His clan had continued with Sunshadow backs away from the clearing, careful not to let the branches beneath his paws snap. They can't see me. The idea of walking into their camp felt far more frightening than he expected. Sunshadow finally reaches the old camp. He steps into the clearing and looks around the dens and the tiny fresh goat pile he worked so hard to maintain. For the first time, the camp didn't look like it was waiting for his clan to return. It looks empty. Sunshadow lowers his head, letting out a sigh. They don't need this place anymore. He looks towards the entrance, then back at the camp one last time. He had been afraid that leaving would mean abandoning his clan, but now he understands that they have already moved forward. Sunshadow's pause slow as he reaches the border. He stops and looks back over his shoulder at the territory. "Goodbye," he murmurs. He didn't know where he was going yet, or what his life would look like without the clan he had spent so long waiting for, but he was ready to find somewhere new to belong.